John Cena's retirement tour has been a hot topic, especially regarding his final match. Should John Cena be facing an opponent he's never faced before? Should he be facing an old rival? Maybe going after a championship he has never won before? There's so many opinions, and everyone is valid. But I want to find out what the fans really want as John Cena's final match, so I've asked you, the fans watching this video, and other videos in my comment sections and posts I put out there, who would you want to see as John Cena's final opponent? And I have 249 votes on over 20 talent that could be John Cena's final opponent, and I've ranked them in terms of votes that they've received from the fans and even did a percentage of how many percentage of the votes they got. Now, this will not answer what WWE is going to do, but it does give a good little sample size of what the fans want to see as John Cena's match. Now, this will be in a top 10 list format, but at places 8, 9, and 10, it'll be multiple people on that list who've gotten the same amount of votes. Now, before we get into the actual votes, including some very shocking opinions, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more wrestling videos. Starting off in 10th place, we have a 7-way tie, and these each received 1 vote, and that's going to be Mark Henry, Joe Hendry, Wade Barrett, Rusev, Cody Rhodes, Triple H, and The Undertaker. Now, going through each opponent and saying why I think they could or couldn't be John Cena's final match, starting with Mark Henry, Triple H, The Undertaker, they're just too old. They wouldn't be a great match. What are we even going to accomplish with that match? Sure, they've been great rivals of John Cena, and I would like to see him have one more match, but as his final match, I don't think that's the route they're going to take. Cody Rhodes, they've had their matches. They've had SummerSlam, they had WrestleMania. We don't need any more. We've seen John Cena win the 17th world title from Cody Rhodes. We've seen Cody Rhodes win it back from John Cena. The story's done. We don't need anything more from that. Joe Hendry would be very interesting. I'm surprised Joe Hendry only got 1 vote. That's who Bully Ray, I believe, said he wants John Cena to face. It was either Bully Ray or Mark Henry himself said he wants John Cena's final match to be against Joe Hendry. I wouldn't hate it. Joe Hendry has publicly pitched trying to face John Cena for years. That's his dream opponent, and if we put over Joe Hendry, I mean, the crowd loves him. I think that should be higher up on this list, but only 1 vote for Joe Hendry. I think it's a little insane, so I think it's actually very likely. I would give it like a 20% likely, but still, that's a great shot. So Joe Hendry, I think would be great for John Cena's final match. Rusev would be cool, and they put on a great match, but I don't think that has the level of story that they want to have for John Cena's final match. Yes, it would call back to WrestleMania 31 when John Cena beat Rusev for the US Championship and kind of kept him a little bit buried from there, and ending his undefeated streak, but we don't need to rehash that. We don't need to tell anymore, and Rusev doesn't need to win. John Cena's not going to win over Rusev, so I don't think that's where they're going. Same with Wade Barrett. It would be cool having the whole Nexus thing, and Wade Barrett finally gets revenge on John Cena after all these years from burying him at SummerSlam in 2010, but he's a commentator. He's not going to use the push. He's not going to use the rub from pinning John Cena, and John Cena beating Wade Barrett, I mean, you'd be like an old commentator. It doesn't matter, so I don't think either of those are really too likely. Now, the number 9 slot, we have 3 men who each received 2 votes, and that is about 0.8% of all the votes totaled, and that is Chris Jericho, Batista, and Drew McIntyre. There's been a lot of rumors with Chris Jericho about coming back to the WWE, but when his contract with AEW is going to expire and when he could potentially come back, and I think all kind of tells are saying that it could be around Royal Rumble season, and so I don't think he can be able to either get out of AEW and sign with WWE and come back for December. It just doesn't really seem too likely, and while Chris Jericho would be cool, there's not a huge story there, and again, we're not really going to use that push on someone that's really old like Chris Jericho, and they didn't really have a ton of great matches, not memorable matches, so Chris Jericho would be cool. I think he should come back to the WWE, but I don't think he needs to be John Cena's final match. Batista, that's been a rival. That's one of his Sinister Six, as you would. Great matches. They had the I Quit match, WrestleMania matches, championship matches. They've done everything together. That'd be a great final match. I just don't think Batista wants to come back to wrestling. I think he enjoys Hollywood, he enjoys acting, and I don't think he wants to come back for wrestling. So I think it'd be cool, but I don't think Batista's it either. And Drew McIntyre is very interesting. Another one, like Joe Hendry, I think should be a lot higher. I think Drew should be top 5. There's been times where, on WWE television, I'm thinking, man, they are building up Drew to take on John Cena for that final match. So I think he could be that guy. I think that'd be great to have Drew beat John Cena and could use that to go on to win that world championship that he's kind of been eluded these past couple of years. I think it'd be great. So I think Drew McIntyre is a very logical, reasonable, and exceptional choice to go beat John Cena's final match. Next, at number 8, and this is our last tier list that is tied with multiple people, and these got 3 votes each, and that's about 1.3% of all the votes tallied. That's CM Punk, Kane, Brock Lesnar, The Miz, and Randy Orton. CM Punk, I totally could agree that could be his final match if they didn't have that match at Night of Champions. They've already done one on their retirement tour. I don't think they're going to run it back again. If they didn't do that, then yes, 100%. Give me a CM Punk match. They can go out together. I think that'd be great, but I don't think having that match already at Night of Champions. And they kind of had the little bit of the teasing of the babyface turn where there's the Vision coming out and John Cena kind of wore them off. We don't need any more. It's been great. John Cena got his win from the Money in the Bank 2011. That CM Punk won that match. John Cena won this match, we don't need anymore. Kane, he's too political. I mean that in like he's like a mayor. He doesn't have time to come back and actually be a full-time wrestler or any kind of wrestler, so there'd be no point of having Kane. Yes, they had that feud in 2012 with like the Rise Above hate and Kane's attacking like Zack Ryder and Eve Torres. It was a weird feud that had like kind of a build up towards WrestleMania 28 or like right afterwards. It didn't work too well, but I don't want to see Kane wrestling on my television in 2025. No thank you. Brock Lesnar, I could see this. I could see John Cena finally slaying the beast after losing at SummerSlam like 2014, losing at WrestlePalooza, like getting squashed, and he finally comes back and he finally beats Brock Lesnar, except they built WrestlePalooza as the last match between the two. And yes, WWE has done this before. We had the once in a lifetime John Cena and The Rock, then it happened to being from once in a lifetime to twice in 1 year at WrestleMania 29, and I don't like that. So we don't need John Cena beating Brock Lesnar. We don't need to have him like slay the beast. He's beat him before. He beat him at Extreme Rules 2012. He's beaten him. You don't need again. If we're gonna have him beat him, why is he gonna get squashed? What kind of mini story are we telling? It doesn't work for me. So Brock Lesnar, I'm kind of out on. Randy Orton, same thing as CM Punk. If you didn't do it at Backlash, yes, let Randy Orton be the guy to have John Cena's final match. That would be perfect. I don't want to see it twice. We already saw it before. Yes, that was kind of the heel John Cena's first match after WrestleMania 41, where he's still in that heel persona. It just kind of trying to find himself, and it wasn't that good. It was even in St. Louis, so like Randy Orton's hometown. It just wasn't working. So if you didn't do that, then yes, 1000% run it back. Have Randy Orton as the final guy. But it ain't here. The Miz is interesting. You had that feud at WrestleMania 29, and The Miz is the only person on that kind of tier list from CM Punk, Kane, and Randy Orton, besides Kane, that hasn't had a match with John Cena this year, and they definitely could. The Miz has tried publicly speaking about, I want this John Cena match, but I don't think The Miz is the guy you're going to do it with. He's involved with Carmelo Hayes right now. It'd be cool, but like, you had that one match at WrestleMania 29, and like that triple threat, like Extreme Rules, like John Morrison, but it wasn't like one of your all-time rivals, and I don't think that's exactly where it should be. I think it should either be a new up-and-coming talent or like one of your final guys you haven't wrestled yet on this tour. So The Miz, love you, but it ain't you either. Now at number 7 with 4 votes, it's about 1.1%, is Kurt Angle. And yes, it'd be absolutely perfect storyline that John Cena's first match is Kurt Angle and his last match is Kurt Angle. But I don't think Kurt's health, I think he said multiple times, he can't do this anymore. He cannot get back in the ring. And that's great that Kurt has recognized that he can't do it, and no amount of money is going to come try to hurt his body and come back in the ring. So let Kurt be Kurt. Let him be who he is. Let him be him outside the ring. It's great in theory, great in fantasy booking. And if the injuries and like aging didn't happen, then yes, Kurt should be the guy. But it's just not logical. It's not well. It's not like, it's almost like elder abuse, because like Kurt can barely walk. He has given his all to this ring. He's given his all to this company, and it's just let him be. Let him go. It's okay. At number 6 with 8 votes, and it's about 3% of the total, is AJ Styles, and this is interesting too. If we weren't having the match at Crown Jewel, then it'd be perfect to wrap up the trilogy between the Royal Rumble and SummerSlam, and now here, that'd be great for AJ Styles, but they're already having a match at Crown Jewel, and it's just weird to have 2 of his final 3 dates, or like final 4 dates on, AJ Styles. It just doesn't feel right. So if they didn't decide to go the direction of Crown Jewel, then totally, AJ Styles is like 100% the guy. But this ain't it. They're not going to put so many dates on the same guy, just back to back to back. If you're going to do that, have this final match. 1 match. You don't get like 3 matches. 1 match. And they are using it on Crown Jewel. So good in theory, but they're already using it. Getting into number 5 with 10 votes, it's about 4% of the total, is The Rock. And this is a guy I would actually really like to see come back. We've seen the once in a lifetime at WrestleMania 28. We saw twice in a lifetime at 29. We saw them have interactions at WrestleMania 40 during the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns match. So there's still some story there. It would wrap up the whole sell me your soul, John, because Cody wouldn't sell the soul, so John Cena did turn heel, but then The Rock abandoned you and didn't come back. But now he is back, and John, as a face now, can get retribution for that, get the Hollywood movie star out of there. I think that should be a great story, and they have great chemistry together. They had these like almost really lifelike. They were really personal with each other, building up to 28. Great moments, great feud. This is memorable. It would put a lot of viewers on this match having The Rock at Saturday Night Main Event, especially because The Smashing Machine has not done well in the box office, although it's an incredible movie. It would have The Rock come back. I just don't think they're going to have The Rock on a Saturday Night Main Event. Yes, they're having John Cena's final match on that, but I don't think they're going to have The Rock there. Although, if I had to choose out of everyone on this list, this is the top 3 for me. If I could get The Rock, I think they should. I think it would wrap up incredibly. I wish they had more time. I wish we had more dates for John Cena to build up to this match, and not like 2 dates. And I saw they might do like a tournament to crown a person to challenge John Cena, and I really like the idea. But I wish that we're gonna have a final person. We have multiple weeks of promos and build up, and give John Cena the deserving blow off, the deserving like, here you go, see you, the farewell. But we don't have that, so I think The Rock and John Cena deserve more than that. So just like a one-time, like, hey, we're rocking John Cena, and then like wait 3 weeks, and here we go. Just wouldn't be the best build for either men. So while I love that opinion, if you have him there for like 4 weeks, a month, I'd totally go for that, but it's just not really going to happen. At 4, a big jump up, doubles the previous vote to 20 votes, and that's 8% of all votes tallied, is Gunther. And ironically, this is probably the guy who's going to retire John Cena, if you believe everything Dave Meltzer says. So Gunther is a guy that we've had a dream match with him and John Cena for years. We finally might get that. Gunther be on a roll. He'd be retiring John Cena. He retired Goldberg, all at Saturday Night Main Events, so that'd be cool. And it checks the boxes of it would be a great match. It's someone John has not wrestled before, and Gunther's going to be here for a while afterwards, so he can really use that rub to get back into the World Heavyweight Championship scene. We've not seen Gunther since he lost his world title to CM Punk at SummerSlam, and I think it'd be great to come back. He wins the tournament because he's really good at that, and he challenges John Cena and he beats him. It'd be a great match. John would sell all his chops, everything. And Gunther also as the guy to have the gimmick of he respects the ring. Everything he does in the ring is sacred, and so he could beat John Cena and shake his hand and still be a heel and still use the momentum to go be world champion, maybe and win the Royal Rumble. I love the idea. Gunther's probably my number 2 guy to face John Cena, with my number 1 guy coming up later in the video. But I love the idea of Gunther not only challenging John Cena, but in fact beating him. With 7 more votes to a total of 27 votes, that's about 10% of the tallied votes, we have Roman Reigns. This is the guy, is the old generation of John Cena versus the new generation of Roman Reigns. It was the big dog. We had that match, I think it's at Battleground in like 2015, 2016 or something like that. And then John Cena came back at Money in the Bank and challenged Roman Reigns for a match at SummerSlam, and Roman's been beating him and beating him. So one more match. They've been good rivalries. It really is like a shifting of the guard from John Cena in that 2000s to 2010s era to the early 2010s to Roman Reigns kind of took over after that. He was the next guy up, so you couldn't have the final match of like the 2 big guys from 2002 to 2025. The 2 major players were John Cena and Roman Reigns, and one more match would be cool. I don't think it really adds anything. Like if you have John Cena beat Roman Reigns, like it's cool, but you're now on your way out, and Roman Reigns is still here, and he now has to kind of deal with losing to John Cena, and he's Roman Reigns. He's kind of bulletproof at this point. He can kind of take anything and keep being strong, but I don't see John Cena like winning a lot from that, and I don't think John should win his final match. So Roman beating John doesn't mean much either because he's already beaten him before. So while it'd be cool to see him one more time in the ring, again, changing the guards and everything, I just don't really see it meaning too much. And I want John Cena's final match to like have major implications for like the rest of the year, like a whole calendar year after the match. I want to be talking about it. About like, listen, I was the guy who did this. Give me a world title. Give me a Royal Rumble win. Give me a Money in the Bank. Something like that. I want to set up the future with John Cena leaving, making sure like there's still storylines. There's still really interesting things when John Cena is gone that he had a hand in playing. I also don't think Roman Reigns is that guy. At number 2 with 29 votes, that's 11%, is the guy I want to have the match with John Cena, and that is Dominik Mysterio, Intercontinental Champion. It's the title John Cena has never won. You go for a Grand Slam champion. I think John should challenge him, and Dominik should accept it, and Dominik should beat him clean. No Judgment Day, nothing. Dominik Mysterio is the future of this company. Dominik Mysterio is going to be a WrestleMania main eventer. He's going to be a World Heavyweight Champion in the next 3 years. I just know it. And so what better way than having him beat John Cena? He's gone from like this like disgusting, like we hate him, like the biggest heel in the company, you can't hear him speak, we're booing so loud, to organically the fans like love him now. He's been great at WrestleMania when he won the Intercontinental Championship. Like the crowd was like over the moon with him winning it, and he's just done it all organically. He's paid his dues. He's been here a long time. He's been wrestling, putting on great matches. He's been killing it in AAA. He's a AAA champion. I think the world Dominik Mysterio, and I think John Cena does too. So I think that if Gunther isn't going to do it, that Dominik should. He's young. He's going to be here to carry the torch for a long time, and he really could use I beat John Cena and use that to go win his first world title. And the number 2 place, Dominik, had 29 votes. The number 1 place has 123 votes, almost 50%, so at 49% of the votes. That is Edge. This is where it's tricky because Edge is still wrestling. He's wrestling in AEW, and there's been rumors about when his contract is going to expire. If it's in October, if it's in December, or if maybe time's been added on for injury. Maybe he has another year there. We kind of don't know. And what really sparked this is, everyone loves Edge. That's like John Cena's like number 1 rivalry was Edge. And then Adam Copeland in AEW, this like a week or 2 ago, on Dynamite, had this whole thing like him and Christian. He goes, listen, I can't do this. I can't keep doing this. I gotta go. I gotta go figure this out. And he left. And this is due to write Adam Copeland off of TV. Now, people are saying, yes, it's due to him going to film Percy Jackson, the final season. He's gonna be gone for that. But people are saying, what if that was the final one? He beats FTR, his good buddies, And he goes, I can't do this anymore, and he leaves, and he goes back home to the WWE to take on John Cena. He could even have more matches there. He could have, you know, more like one more year of Edge. That'd be great. Or in a dream world, Tony Khan and Triple H just work together. Listen, you can have one match, give us Edge for the retirement of John Cena. You can have one match of, I don't know, Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins is going to AEW, and you can have one match there. I think it'd be amazing. It's never going to happen. That's just a fantasy world. It's never, ever, ever going to happen. But if it did, if somehow, whether through contracts or a handshake agreement or something like this, Edge came back, he would be the absolute perfect way for John Cena to end his career. One of your biggest rivalries, your most iconic rivalries, and you're still wrestling and put on good matches today. They've been paying tribute to each other in their matches. John Cena hit a spear, Edge hit the 5 moves of doom. John Cena's been talking about him on Instagram. There's a lot of communication there, a lot of love on both sides. I know they both would be over the moon to put someone over like that. In my criteria, you're going to be, it has to be a great match, and it could be, and it's either have to give someone a rub, like a new person like Dominik, Mysterio, or Gunther, or it needs to be a past rival that he hasn't quite wrestled yet on this farewell tour, and Edge fits both those qualities. It'd be a great match. It would be a very, very prominent rivalry that he hasn't had on this farewell tour. And while it isn't the most realistic, it is the most fun, and that's all the fans care about. But again, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about John Cena's final match? I just gave out 20 plus guys who you think could win. I gave out how many fans voted for each one. This was through comments, this was through posts, on video, everything I've read just on my YouTube feed. So I'm sure there's other fans elsewhere talking about it, talking about who they want, and they might have completely different results. This is just through our little community here on Black Cat Wrestling. And if you want to join that community, all you gotta do is subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, I do appreciate your support. It means a lot to me, and we'll see you guys in the next video.